How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today's topic is a few ways that you can stop complaining and get a move on with your life, quitting drinking alcohol and moving on with this new journey. You know, we've all got stuff that we can complain about, right? Every one of us. But nearly everything that we complain about, I'd say 99.99% of the stuff that we're complaining about is stuff that we can do something about but haven't done anything about it, right? The personal stuff. You know, we've chosen not to do anything about these things. We've made the decision that we're not going to do things, do anything about it. And not doing something about something when you want to do something about it, or when you feel you need to do something about it, is making a choice. You might not think about it that way, but it is. You've got the ability to stop drinking alcohol. Everyone has. It's not anything special. You just don't put the alcohol into your body anymore. That's it, period. Right? It's got its risks, quitting drinking alcohol. Right? You run the risk of being bored. You run the risk of being an outcast from the people that you used to socializing with. Right? You run the risk of being judged by other people. But who gives a fuck about those things? Being bored, you've got a choice in, that's your choice to be bored or not to be bored. If you're being judged by people, then, that's their judgment, and who cares about that? And as far as socialization goes, you've got to think about these things from the perspective of what's the best thing for you to do in any circumstance, right? What's the best thing to do in your life? Is it to carry on drinking this toxin, or is it to stop drinking the toxin and find new friends? Other things that we run a risk of doing are feeling discomfort. I mean, that's what we don't like doing, feeling that the awfulness of having to think for a change, and having to do something that's different, disappointing people that we're with, people that we love, I mean, even quitting drinking alcohol sometimes can disappoint the people that you're with, because you're upsetting their picture. You're sort of how they see the world. You're putting that on the background. You're putting yourself forward, so you're putting yourself first, and you're putting whatever they think into the background. There are certain risks to this, but what's the risk of not doing it? Of carrying on doing what you're doing? The risk of carrying on drinking is far, far worse. The risks are far, far worse, be it if you carry on doing what you're doing, than if you don't. I mean, basically what you're doing, if you carry on drinking alcohol, is you're holding on to the status quo. You're holding on to the thing which you have, trying to hold on to it. But this is a drug. This is something that, it's going to take you downhill. It's not going to take you uphill. It's not going to give you anything special in your life. All it's going to do is take, your handicap in your life. And the more you drink this, the more of a handicapped person you become. Self-inflicted handicap. So the first way of getting out of this is by using your brain. There's no other way around this. You have to adjust your thinking. You have to listen to yourself when you're complaining. Listen to the type of things that you're complaining about. I know it's difficult. This is one of the most difficult parts of it, but it's the only way to really change things. The only way to change things on the outside is to change things first on the inside. And once you change things on the inside, once you change your thought patterns, then you can start to, change how you see things on the outside world, change things, how you do things on the outside world, and you can change your behaviors and all that kind of stuff. So, first thing is to bring it up into your conscious awareness, to stop what you're doing and to realize that, this is something that you've got control over. Even say it to yourself, shout it to yourself if you have to. Stop. Realize that you don't have to carry on with this way of thinking. A lot of the time that people complain is because they don't have things in their own life, or they think they don't have things in their own life that they should be grateful for. And I get it. I've been there. I've been in that place where I felt that my life was just going downhill. It wasn't getting anywhere, no matter what I tried to do. It was always one step forward, two steps back, and that's painful to do that. It's painful to think in that way. And I can vouch for people, for having your circumstances and the way your life is going affect the way that you think, and it becomes habitual. It becomes a part of just a whole downward spiral. And another way of doing this is to try and think about the things that you're grateful for. I love the American tradition of Thanksgiving. I don't really understand it from an American perspective. I get what it's about. You're thanking whatever for whatever, but it's a great thing, I think, to sit back every so often and have gratitude for the things that you have in your life. That's one of the things that people should do a lot more of. People are a lot easier in mind to pursue things that they haven't got, and to think about the things that they haven't got. And not many people actually sit down and spend any amount of time thinking about the things that they've got. Write it down on a sheet of paper and take it with you, or take it out every so often. One of the courses that I did, I talked about making like a gratitude box or a smile file, where you have everything, photographs of people or things or places that you've been, things that you've done, achievements. It's a very personal collection of things that when you take it out, it makes you smile. It gives you a laugh. One of my things at the moment is just a very simple picture of my granddaughter on my phone. It's a funny picture, and she's sort of the two of them are just looking at the camera in a very strange way, as if to say, what? It's a funny picture, and it makes me laugh. And every time I open my phone, I see that. It could be anything, but it's just something to sort of snap you out of the complaining mood. I think that's part of the problem, or part of the solution for any negative problem that you've got in your life, is to snap yourself out of it and replace it with a positive thing. Same thing with habits. Get yourself out of the habit, the bad habits, snap yourself out of those. Takes an awful lot longer time, than taking out a smile file, but it's the same principle. You're eliminating one and replacing it with another, something better. A third way of doing this, and I talk about this an awful lot, is to accept 100% responsibility for it. For everything that you're complaining about. Remember that everything that you complain about, most of it, is something that you can do something about, but you've chosen not to do something about. You either do something about it, get up off your ass and do something about it, or ignore it, avoid it. And there's no other ways of doing this. People complain about the weather, right? People complain about the news. People complain about what some dictator is doing, 10,000 miles away. People complain about what the president is doing, or people complain about that this guy happens to be the president. There is nothing you can do about that. Absolutely nothing. It's done, it's dusted. What can you do about that? If you think you can do something about it, then get up and do something about it. But otherwise, it's just useless complaining, and all it's doing is bringing you down. It's taking you away from the place where you should be, the place where you want to be, and bringing you into a negative place. We've only got 24 hours in a day, every one of us. Now, you can use that time to be constructive, to do something for yourself in a constructive way, or you can use that time to be negative, right? And to complain and bitch about things, and moan, especially about things that you can't do anything about. If you can do something about it, do it. If you can't, ignore it, avoid it, and move on to something that you can do something about. That's what 100% responsibility is. You are 100% responsible for whatever comes out of your mouth, your brain, what actions you take, and that includes paying attention to things that don't deserve your attention or that you cannot do anything about. The next one is, don't be afraid to vent. Every so often we all need to vent. If you kind of try and suppress these things and suppress these emotions, suppress feelings of anger or suppress things that that you feel are bothering you, then these things have a tendency to build up inside you and cause more problems. So, and I'm not talking about venting on somebody, insulting or degrading somebody else just so that you can vent. I'm talking about going to somebody who will listen to you for 5 or 10 minutes and listen to your bitching, and get it all out and have it all over and done with. Don't let it fester. Sometimes all you need is a life coach or a therapist, but don't be afraid to get it out into the open, and don't feel guilty about having these feelings. Don't be feeling guilty about needing to vent. But as I say, in the last one, you've got to get it out into the open, get it into reality, sort of start thinking about it from the perspective of, is this worth me complaining about? Why am I complaining about this? Do I need to be complaining about this? Is there something I can do about this? If yes, then am I going to do it? And if no, then what the fuck am I complaining about? I can't do anything about it. And finally, the next one is just to care for yourself. You have to be the person that cares for yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. When I'm talking about care for yourself, go back to the same thing. Exercise, get out walking in the fresh air, get out somewhere where you can think, where you can move your body and get your breath rate up a little bit and just breathe in the natural surroundings. This is a wonderful place that we live. I know not everyone has got such great surroundings around them, but you have to make do with what you've got. And even if it's walking, I love walking down a city street as well as walking down in the country. I prefer not to walk down a city street if I can help it. I prefer to walk down here, but there's benefits to everything. But that's why I live in the country. I don't live in the city because I don't like that. It's not my type of a thing. I feel claustrophobic. But exercise is exercise. Get down to the gym if you have to. Get onto a treadmill or a rowing machine or whatever it is. But motion changes emotion, and sometimes that's all you need. Is to snap yourself out of it. Same thing with your nutrition. If you are what you feed yourself. So if you feed yourself on crap, then guess where your thoughts are coming from? Your thoughts, your brain takes up 20-25% of your body's energy, right? And your body can only get energy from one place, and that's the stuff that you're eating. So give it a good shot. So choose the food that you put into your body wisely. Same thing as finding space to do the things that you need to do. So every one of us needs quiet time, right? We need time on our own. We also need time with other people, people that we care about, people who care about us. I'm introverted, so I'm one of those people that I get my energies, I build up my energy levels from being inside, from being on my own, not just generally inside, but just being on my own, thinking, and then I expend a lot of energy being with other people. There's certain people in my life that I can be with no problem at all, and they're my family and friends, and I think but even so, if I'm with too many people, it expends a lot of my energy. It takes a lot of my energy away, and I need to get on my own then for a while. But the opposite is true. If you're an extrovert, you feed yourself from being with other people, and you expend a lot of energy from being on your own. So it all depends on who you are, but you know, we all need that time on our own to be quiet and to chill out, to relax, to do the things that we really like to do. You know, at the end of the day, what would you rather do? You know, would you rather be complaining, or would you rather smile? You know, would you rather frown, or would you rather smile? Would you rather be complaining, or would you rather, you know, be looking at things in your life that, as I say, you're thankful for, or you want to rejoice over, you know? I know which side of the thing I'd rather be on. Now, some people are just natural complainers. They just like complaining, you know? And if you're one of them, then you definitely shouldn't be watching this video. So the first thing you have to do is to alter your thinking, you know, realize what you're complaining about, listen to your thoughts. You know, before you can stop the thinking, you've got to understand that this is what you're doing. Second thing is to make some sort of a list of the things that you're grateful for, you know, of the things that you have to be thankful for in your life. Number 3 is don't be afraid to vent, you know. We all have to vent every so often. Number 4, I think it might be number 3, was the next one is to be 100% responsible. You know, most of the complaining that we do is something that we have a choice in. You know, we complain about things that we can alter, but we choose not to alter. So, you know, it's making that distinction is, can you do something about this? If yes, then why are you not doing it? And do it. Get up and do it. And if you can't do anything about it, why are you worrying about it? Why are you wasting your precious time? You know, every one of us have only got 24 hours in the day, so don't be wasting any time thinking about things that you've got no control over. And the final thing is to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally. You know, get exercise, eat good food, take care of yourself. Look, I'll leave it there for now. Come on over to the website if you want to sign up for. Come on over to the website if you want to get our free gift of a Quit Alcohol Mastery starter pack, which includes a lot of different videos and books and different bits and pieces, all free. Just leave your name and email address and you'll get those for absolutely nothing. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take good care of yourself, keep the alcohol out of your mouth, stay safe, stop the bitching. You know, you're the only one that suffers from it at the end of the day. Good luck to you. Onwards and upwards.